Hello student, welcome back. So this is my second video on chapter number 9, that is theme 9, industrial revolution. So in the previous video we were talking about that why the industrialization happened in Britain for the first time, okay, why not in other nation. So we have then after that we have discussed about towns, trade and the finance. This is the reason why the industrialization were happening in Britain, because the trade was there, because the England they have a very good river channels that can be used as means of water transport, so goods can be easily transported. Okay, then you know that due to agriculture revolution the lands were acquired by the big landlord, and the landless peasant and the herder they were jobless, so obviously they were looking for a job, and they moved to their nearby towns, and this also helped in the industrialization. Okay, then the next thing is finance, because the industrialists they need money to set up big industries, so the banks were available, that these banks they were giving a money, a loan to the industrialist, so that they can set up big industries. All right, so these are the talking about the trade, finance and towns. So towns, you know that among the 19 big cities that were in Europe, उनमें से जो 11 cities है that were in England, and London was the most important city of England. It was the hub of the financial. Okay, next the London it got global importance, and next important thing is the trade that was earlier in the Mediterranean Sea. Trade was done in the Mediterranean Sea in the Europe, that is in Italy and France. Now that trade has been shifted to Atlantic coast, that is the Atlantic ports of Holland and England. This also led to the industrial revolution in Britain. Okay, now next this is also very important for the industrialization, and the heading is coal and iron. Now student, coal and iron ore were plentiful in British. Okay, इंग्लैंड में जो कोल एंड आयरन ore है वो बहुत ज़्यादा थी obviously, and these are the main staple material for the mechanization, okay, for making machines, and these were plentiful in England. All right, even copper and tin were also available. This was also available in England. Now if you wanted to get a iron from the iron ore, that iron is taken from the iron ore by the process called smelting. So smelting is the process through which we take out the iron from the iron ore. Okay, that means the iron ore is melted, and the liquid iron it gives our iron that we need for the different machines. Okay, now earlier the charcoal was used for the smelting process. All right, for smelting charcoal was used, and this charcoal was derived from the burned timber. But this charcoal, there are few drawbacks that the charcoal had. First thing is the charcoal, we get the charcoal from the long distance, that means the travel was there. Okay, the charcoal अगर हमें लेना है तो उसको काफ़ी दूर से लेके आना पड़ता था. ठीक है, टाइम कंज्यूमिंग था. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज़ कि जो चारकोल है इट इज़ डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम द टिम्बर, तो फॉर दैट वी हैव टू कट फॉरेस्ट, एंड फ्रॉम दैट टिम्बर वी गेट द चारकोल. ये भी काफ़ी लेंथी प्रोसेस था. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज़ जो चारकोल की इम्प्योरिटीज़ है इट प्रोड्यूस पुअर क्वालिटी ऑफ आयरन. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज the charcoal, it could not generate the high temperature, because obviously if we have a high temperature we can get good iron. Now there were a family of iron master, they were called as the Derbys of Shropshire. All right, and here they have given the names of the grandfather, father and son. Okay, all these people from the same family, one was grandfather, then his son, that is father, then his son. Okay, so three generation of families, they were known by the same name, that is Abraham Derby. Now, if we talk about the first Abraham Derby, that is the first generation of this family, so obviously they were dealing with iron. They were dealing with how to take out iron from the iron ore. Now, this person, first Abraham Derby, he invented blast furnace in 1709. Okay, so with the help of this furnace, the high temperature can be created, and he also started using coke instead of charcoal, and coke we get it from the coal by removing sulfur and other impurities, we get coke, COKE, and this coke produces high quantity, high temperature, and this high temperature can be used to get good quality of iron, that is it led to finer and larger casting of iron than before. Okay, then the second Abraham Derby, now he developed wrought iron from the pig iron. This is his invention. All right. Now after that, Henry Cott, he designed pudding furnace, and he also designed the rolling mill. Now pudding furnace, it is used to remove the impurities from the molten iron. जो molten iron है उसमें भी अगर कोई impurities है तो उसको भी remove करने के लिए pudding furnace was used, and it was made by the Henry Cott. Now next thing that Henry Cott made is rolling mill. Now rolling mill was used steam power to roll purified iron into bars. That means purified जो iron है, melted iron है, it can be used to make bars. Okay. Next we have John Wilkinson. In 1770, he made first iron chair. He made vats for breweries, for distilleries, and iron pipes of all sizes. Okay, that was made by John Wilkinson. So you can see that with the purification of iron, the more and more like bars are made, like chairs are being made from the iron. तो ये धीरे-धीरे करके ये इसकी और invention हो रही है. Okay. Now if we talk about the third Derby, that is third Abraham Derby. Now in 1779 he built first iron bridge in the world. Okay, and this iron bridge was in Colebrook Dale. Now next important thing for this is that coal fields were easily they were near the coast, and from that we can easily transport coal from by the help of waterways. Okay, so with the help of this coal, shipbuilding increased. Okay, shipping trade, it also increased. Now if we talk about the British iron industry during that time, during 18th century, so British iron industry, its product were cheapest in the Europe. ठीक है, यूरोप में सबसे ज़्यादा चीपेस्ट जो प्रोडक्ट थे, दैट वाज इन इंग्लैंड. ऑलराइट, सो दिस वाज अबाउट द कोल एंड आयरन. नेक्स्ट आवर टॉपिक इज द कॉटन स्पिनिंग एंड वीविंग. Now student, if we talk about from the raw cotton, we make thread, or we can say yarn in English, and from that yarn or thread we weave and we make fabric, that is cloth. Okay, so this is the process. But if we talk about the England earlier, in England there is no cotton crop. Okay, they cannot grow crop over there because the temperature over there is not suitable for the growth of cotton in England. But when there was no cotton, obviously they have to import cotton from other side like India. We will talk about that also. Now if we talk about the in England before the 17th century, they were using wool to make cloth and they were using flax. So wool and flax was used. Okay, so flax was used like for to make linen. All right. So the English people, they were using wool to make the clothes and they were using linen, not cotton. So for cotton, in the 17th century, cotton was imported from India, and that cotton cloth, the cotton cloth was imported from India, but it was very costly. Okay. Now after the East India Company, they got political control over India. Now they started importing cloth, cotton cloth, and after that they started importing the raw cotton because the industries are there in England. They need raw cotton to run that industries. All right, and this cotton industry, it helped in the colonization of the British. All right, now to make this, they need, if we talk about the starting of this spinning, okay, so the raw cotton was spun. It was a very slow process, and they need 10 spinner to supply a yarn to a single weaver. Okay, they were supplying spinner means that is making thread from raw cotton. Now earlier the spinner and the weaver, they used to work at their home. Now weaver means that is using different threads to make one cloth, one fabric. Now 10 spinner, they used to give yarn to single weaver. Okay, but this spinning was very slow process, it takes a lot of time. Okay, so spinner, they used to be busy all the day spinning, but the weaver, he was waiting for that yarn to come to him and so that he can make a cloth. So this gap was there. Okay, so this gap was there, that is why there was a slow production of fabric. Now but later, due to the series of technologies, inventions were there. These inventions, they close the gap between the spinner and the yarn. ओके, इनका जो टाइम खत्म ज़्यादा यूज़ करते थे, अभी वो कम हो गया. नाउ दे वर स्पिनिंग एट अ फास्ट स्पीड एंड द वीवर, दे वर weaving the cloth at a fast speed. And next important thing happened is that this later the production of this spinner and weaver, it shifted to a one place from homes to the factories. All right, so now this thing is happening in the factories. Now cotton industry, it symbolizes the British industrialization. Remember this. क्या कर रही है? Symbolizes British industrialization. Because the British, they were getting the raw cotton from their colonies. After making that raw cotton into fabric, they were exporting that cloth, that fabric again to those colonies people. Okay, this is how their imperial power was going on. Okay, that helped them in the colonization to retain control over these people, and they also were able to control the market over there in these colonies. Like India was a colony of British, so they were, जो फ़ायदा उठाना था वो उठा रहे थे उस टाइम पूरा. Now next is the in the cotton industries, mostly the women and children they were needed. Okay, so this cotton industry was using the women and children as a manpower. Okay, because the machines they were so, sometimes the machines the gap was very little, तो उस गैप में से सिर्फ बच्चे ही उसके अंदर जाके उसका काम कर सकते थे, क्योंकि द मैन दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू दैट वर्क. ओके, एंड इफ वी टॉक अबाउट वुमेन, अर्लियर द वुमेन दे वर डूइंग दिस वर्क, सो ऑब्वियसली वुमेन वर आल्सो एम्प्लॉयड बिकॉज द वुमेन दे लाइक वीविंग द क्लोथ्स एंड ऑल दैट. ओके, नाउ during that time in the Manchester it became the famous for the cotton industry in England. All right, now next our topic is steam power. Now earlier the water was used as a mode of transport. Okay, the water was used as hydraulic power, but this water was not available everywhere, and moreover sometimes the flow of water is more, sometimes the flow of water is less. Like they were also using water to for water mill, for the mills they were using water. Okay, and even for grinding the flour they were using water. The flow of the water is used, but this flow of water was limited to certain places only, and this is the reason that there was a need of some other source that can be easily available. So that source was the steam power. Now the steam, obviously after boiling the water we get steam, and this steam power it provided pressure at a high temperature. Okay, so this pressure can be used to do our work. Okay, and this high pressure it enabled the use of broad range of machinery. Now if we talk about the steam power was first used in the mining industries, because the mines they were over flooded by the water, so there was a need to take out that water from the mines. So for that the Thomas Savery, he was a person who built a model steam engine, and that steam engine was called as miner's friend to drain mines. Obviously it was miner friend because they were able to take out the water from the mines, and they were able to do work over the in the mines. Okay, but this steam engine have a little, they have a drawback. Okay, first thing is that this steam engine works slowly. Next is if the in the shallow depth the boiler burst because of the high pressure. Okay, when there was a too much pressure, that also lead to the bursting of the boiler. Then next person, Thomas Newcomen, in 1712 he built another steam engine. Okay, and in that steam engine he was cooling the cylinder so that it will not burst, but this cooling led to the slow working of the engine because most of the energy was loosed in the cooling of the इंजन कंटेनर. ठीक है, जो सिलेंडर है वो उसको कूल करता था, और उसके कूल करने की वजह से जो एनर्जी है वो लूज कर जाता था वो. नाउ नेक्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सन, जेम्स वॉट. नाउ ही डेवलप्ड अ मशीन And this Watt invention converted the steam engine from merry pump into a prime mover, capable of providing energy to power machine in factories. That means this machine that is developed by the James Watt, it instead of pump, that steam power can be used to run machines in the factories. All right. Now in 1775, with the help of wealthy manufacturer Matthew Boulton, James Watt created the Soho foundry. Now this Soho foundry, it was making engines. Okay, so he started manufacturing engines in this foundry, and by the passage of time, the James Watt engine became more and more famous. Okay, there was a more demand for the production, and with that, it led to the production increased. But later, when this James Watt engine was spread to different part of the world in Europe, so the people, they started getting the drawbacks of this. Okay, and they started removing these drawback. Like by the end of the 18th century, Watt steam engine was beginning to replace hydraulic power. Okay, then after 1800, steam engine technology was further developed with the use of lighter and stronger metal. That means they were using lighter metal and stronger metal, and manufacture of more accurate machines tools were also made. And in 1840, the British steam engine were generating 70% of all European horsepower. That means this engine became so famous that all over Europe, 70% of the power was given out by these engine that is made by the British. All right. So with that, we have done this topic, and next topic we will discuss in next class. Okay. Thank you.